last time,
Yeah.
but haven't had to this time yet. Nope. Okay, vertical angles and linear pairs is what we're talking about today.
It's not moving, I can't see. Oh, wait.
Right, vertical angles are two angles that are across from each other, and they're formed by two lines that intersect. Two angles that are not adjacent. If you remember our definition of adjacent, that was that they were hooked together, sharing a vertex and a side. So these are hooked together at a vertex, but they do not share a side because they're opposite of each other instead of adjacent to each other.
I take notes on the floor.
So in the pictures here, let's number which ones are vertical. Okay, like number 1 and number 2. In that picture, vertical angles. Okay, I'm not going to put 3 and 4 or you'll be confused, but the other 2 are vertical. If I put a 1 here and a 2 here, those are also vertical. The ones that I didn't mark are vertical also. Now you have to be careful when you get more like 3 lines in the picture. 1 and 2 are still vertical. If I put a 3 here, not vertical to 2,
One across.
what's formed by the same 2 lines would be that angle. So it might help for you to highlight which lines make up like angle 1 and then continue them to make sure that it makes up angle 2. And it gets kind of tricky if they put just like an extra one here. So then if I had, let me just switch. Would 1 and 2 be vertical? No, they're not formed by the same 2 lines. 1 is vertical to nothing in the picture right now. We would have to extend that line in order to figure out that 1 and 3 are vertical. Okay, so it's the same 2 lines. They're across from each other. Those are called vertical angles. A linear pair, they are 2 adjacent angles whose non-common sides are on the same line. Adjacent. They are side by side, hooked together, sharing a common ray. The non-common sides are on the same line. All right, so I've got some various pictures here. Let's put the 1s and 2s. Okay, these 2 angles, notice that they are hooked together. They share the same side. One goes to the right from that ray, one goes to the left from that ray. And those non-shared rays, these 2, are from the same line. So that creates your linear pair of angles. There's another one that shows linear pair, okay, shared side, angle 1, angle 2. Together they make a straight line, so that's a linear pair. That bottom picture has linear pairs, but it also has vertical angles. It actually has 4 linear pairs.
Yes, it is.
There's 1 and 2, would be a linear pair. 1 and 2 would be a linear pair. That 1 and 2 are a linear pair. And if I switch back, that 1 and 2 are a linear pair. So there's actually 4 different linear pairs. If you have trouble, I like to grab a ruler, and if you would lay the ruler along one of the lines, as long as you have just 2 angles, that's going to be a linear pair. Now, if you had the 3 lines crossing, 1, 2, and 3, those are not a linear pair, because pair means 2. Now, they do total 180 degrees, but it's 3 angles instead of 2. So there's no linear pair out of those. If you wanted to group together and make this angle and then put 2 and 3 together to make another angle, those green ones would be a linear pair, but not every one separately. Okay. We're going to do some exploring. You need a protractor to measure angles with and some straight edges. If you have supplies, grab them out. Otherwise, you should be set. Okay, on your paper, I need you to draw 2 lines that intersect.
Thank you, Kim.
Do not try and make them intersecting at a right angle. So make it squished. Draw 2 lines that intersect. So by doing that, you created both linear pairs and vertical angles. I would like you to use your protractor and measure how many degrees all 4 angles are. How many degrees for each angle? Probably skip some notes here. Let me back up for the recording purposes. We were doing that, and this is the postulate you need to write down. And this, oops, wrong way. That's the theorem. Okay, so there's the notes. Back to Allie.
Okay, so for number 1, it'd be 150
Because?
because of the supplementary or the postulate 7.
Okay, postulate 7, that linear pair postulate. Linear pairs are supplementary.
And then
Okay.
3 would be 150.
Because?
The theorem 2.3.
Vertical angle theorem.
Yes.
Okay, she could do that because this 150 and 150, or she could have said linear pair postulate going back to the 130 with the angle 4 and 3. So there's more than one way she could have supported that. You want to finish it?
Okay, 2 would be 30 degrees.
Reason?
Because of the postulate 7, the linear pair postulate.
Okay, so she's doing the like angle 1 and angle 2, or 2 and 3 linear pair postulate. She could have said vertical angle theorem going from the 30-degree angle 4. So there's different ways, it's just how are you thinking about it. Okay. All right, I want each of you to go through this one and write down your reasons, either in your notes or marker board, whichever you prefer.
Can I use my brain?
Can't see it.
I can say it.
I'll tell you can say it. I know that last one well. This very one? you had on your measurements? Looked up. Find the measure of each angle and make a little note about what you use to support it.
No. I'm just gonna have this one.
Gavin, what did you get for an angle there? Angle 1 is how much? 55. What are you supporting that with? Is it the linear pair postulate or the vertical angle theorem that you used? Okay, the linear pair postulate, correct, because 1 and 3 together make a linear pair. All right, Tim, give me another one. Reason? Okay, vertical angle theorem, angle 3 and angle 4 were vertical angles, they are congruent. Kenna? Angle 2? Reason? Okay, vertical angle theorem, that's how she did. Thumbs up or down, how'd you do? All right, looks like everybody got that. Here's one that has a little bit more to it. Find the measure of each angle, give support for each answer. your vertical angles in here. Trace the sides of like angle 1 and continue them and figure out what angle on the other side it makes. Those are vertical. Why don't we compare with our assigned partner? I think we were on first row, second row, unless we're missing some people today.
Yep.
You guys on the, close enough to compare. Those, what? Do I need to keep the fingerprints for something? Hopefully not. Yeah. Yes.
We have that's under 180. Okay, let's run through real quick. Which angle was vertical to angle 1? Angle 6. So 6 should be 22 degrees, probably by vertical angle theorem. And which angle is vertical to angle 4? Angle 3.
Angle 3, so that's 42. Okay, raise your hand if you can explain to me how to do angle 2 or 5. 2 or 5, who haven't I heard today? Dallas. Which angle 42 and 22 do I need to look at? It probably doesn't matter, but which one should I look at? 4 and 1. Okay, 4 and 1, that together makes a total of 64 degrees. Okay, then what do I do, Dallas? Okay, because what are you using? Are you using vertical angles? No, you should be using linear pair postulate. Because if I would hold this up right here, I should get one that's colored. That angle and angle 2 make a total of 180 degrees because those are a linear pair, if I stick those two together. So 2 ended up being 116 by linear pair postulate, and 5 should have been 116 either by vertical angle theorem or again linear pair postulate. How many groups got that right? You guys didn't get that one? Was it the 116 that you didn't get? Okay, see how to do it. Okay, next one. Throw some algebra in here now. Find the value of the variable, find the measure of each angle. So figure out what relationship should they have. Are they vertical angles? Are they a linear pair of angles? Set it up correctly. you're right, 5x plus. Control it up, and for x, let's see if those two add up to 180. Now find the angles, let's see if that really worked right. Again, for you, find the two angles, and we're gonna see if they do add up to 180. Alright, so now you can figure out. Find the two angles. Add it up right? Okay, good. Now add it up to 180. Alright, so what do we figure out over here? Two bit 118. Did you do 3 times 26? Or what did you do? Did you do that one first? Okay, so what was 26 times 2? You wrote 62 and it's really 52. But I'll tell you this is. I guess let me finish and show you that's not right. Let's take 3 times 26. We're just gonna put it into the other one. Let's take 3 times 26. Add 25. Would you have noticed that, oh, those are supposed to add up to 180, or they don't. So, answer it. It's just a number divided by
So that's square two.
155 divided by 5 is the correct thing.
I
to do.
just was square. But I'm in this.
There. Long division, 155 divided by 5. Did yours work out? Yeah, most of them. Did yours work out?
I just worked when I went. X equals 31.
All right, x should equal
31.
31.
Yeah.
And then the angles are
62.
62 and 118.
Yes.
And so you did 3x plus 25 plus 2x equals 180.
Yes.
All right, do I need to solve it to show the 31? How many got it right? All right, we've got almost everybody, I think. Next problem. Now figure out what relationship they should have. Are they vertical angles? Are they a linear pair of angles? If they're vertical angles, you need to make them congruent. If they're a linear pair of angles, you need to add them up to make 180. Decide which type they are.
I think I forgot an arrow on that.
Okay, I forgot an arrow on the end of this one.
Yeah,
You are right. Is that better?
Do we have to solve for x? Or
Yep. I need the value of the variable and find each angle, so you're telling me you can find the angle easily, but you need to find what x is also.
Okay, that would be nice.
You need some good algebra practice. Over here. So if you're going to subtract 24 there, you have to subtract 24 over here. there. But we can come up with those because we're going to use we could. Oh, yes, I did say if I measure each angle. All right, we think we know what this one is? How did you set up the problem? Tiara, how did you do that?
I did x plus 24 degrees plus 78 equals
So she did it right. She added them together because it's a linear pair. Okay, and when you solved it, x was it 26 or 24? 26? Okay. 26. Then when you substitute in 3 times 26 plus 24 was 102. Does that make sense? If this is 78, this would be 102. That adds to be 180. Okay, what's this angle? And what's this one? 102. Okay. Got it? All right. Let's try that one. How would this problem start differently?
because they're vertical, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, so now instead of adding together, these are vertical angles. I probably should have given you a different number. Well, what was it on the last one? Was it 108?
It was 102 and 78, but
So yeah, I should make it. I kept the same picture, so I didn't want to change the number too much. But how are you going to set this one up?
it was like 4
Equals 108. They're vertical angles. All right, x equals 28. And then this top angle, 3 times 28 plus 24 was 108 on this picture. How about these other two angles?
oh, there's 72.
72 and 72. Question on that one? All right, let's see if I have one more example. I think I do. Last problem. So. A linear pair of the vertical angles. Or did I trick you and do something that's negative?
are the angles.
No, these are the axes, the angles.
They should be the same. Something's wrong. What are they doing? You're making each one 180 degrees? Ooh.
Because I'm taking it to separate ones that people I'm getting off.
This angle, notice that angle's not 180.
Oh wait, no,
That one and this one?
yeah, that one and that one is 180.
Okay, so what did you use for this one when you set it up? You didn't, did you?
I had the 4x minus 24 equals 180.
So you're making this angle by itself be 180?
Yeah.
Okay, realize that's not right?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you do this one? Are they vertical or linear pair? Vertical. Vertical angles are, it said congruent, equal each other. So they need to equal each other. So your equation needed to be 4x minus 24 equals 2x plus 10. That's how you start. Okay, and those that did that right, what's x end up? 17. So how many degrees is this angle? 44? And this one should be 44 also. We're plugging in to make sure it works out right. Question on that part? And did anyone find these other angles? And 136. All right, so you need to focus on, are they vertical or are they a linear pair? And if they're vertical, they will be congruent. If they're a linear pair, they add up to 180. All right, we didn't get our other stated word, but that's okay. Another day. Page 78 is where we're at. We do have a quiz tomorrow.
That sounds light.
So this page 73, the 5 problems are a review for your quiz. 1, 2, 3 is as far as your quiz will go. So what we covered today is not on tomorrow's quiz. If you're doing Quizlet, sections 2.1 to 2.3 would be the ones to do.
Will we have to use
I do not think
I
so.
don't want to. I think my brain stays up, but this last year.
Yeah, you might want to run a little bit, so it kind of freezes out.
She's dying. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it.
All right, use your time to get started.
carry?